Good evening and welcome to another presentation of Southern Oregon High School basketball on Table Rock Sports. Tonight, here on this feed, you have the Brookings Harbor Bruins against the host Cascade Christian Challengers. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'll be joined by Mark McLemore. Wyatt Rainey is on the camera, and we look forward to bringing you tonight's ball game between a pair of conference rivals. In fact, it's the conference opener for both teams. Talking with the radio play-by-play man for the Bruins, he's telling me that it's been a little while since the Bruins have seen some action. So I'm sure that no doubt that they'll be glad to get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Challengers, their last action was on New Year's Day when the second-ranked Challengers defeated Dayton, another top 5 team, 62-60 in an overtime contest. So they've been out for a little bit. We're supposed to play a game on Tuesday night against Cresswell here at home, but as I'm sure no doubt the folks over in Brookings can relate as well, that there have been a lot of games scheduled, rescheduled, canceled, postponed due to COVID-19, as we're just kind of working our way through that. So given that scenario, we're grateful that the boys are here playing this evening. For those of you who are fans of the two JV teams, the Challengers defeated the Bruins by 17, 55-38 in a contest that just completed a few moments ago. Got plenty of action coming your way this evening. Look forward to breaking it all down for you. Today's game is brought to you by our regional sponsors, including Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less, John L. Scott Real Estate, and Travel Medford, and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission. Great partners in keeping high school athletics streaming for you. Also, for almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. We'll go ahead and take a quick timeout, recognize some of those sponsors that help make this all possible, and then when we return, we'll have more action. Get ready for tonight's ball game right here on TableRockSports.net.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between 7,000 and 10,000
Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3P Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Wyatt Rainey here, getting ready for the start of tonight's ball game between the Challengers and the Bruins. Always a competitive contest, and we always know what a challenging place that Brookings is to play in this evening. And was just talking with Mrs. Beeman here earlier this evening and showing a little bit of appreciation. She's got family all over the world watching tonight's video stream, and thankful for the fact that that the extended family can take in all the action. And that's kind of the fun part about it. You know, you put the rivalries aside, and we were just talking a little bit earlier about how sports really gives you a sense of community. At the end of the day, we may compete hard and go for the win out there on the court while the game's going on, but before and after, when it's all said and done, we're all Americans, we're all Oregonians, and it's a lot of fun. And you never know when you have a situation where perhaps you have some kids who are rivals at the high school level, and they end up being teammates at the college level, or end up going to school together at the next level somewhere else. So it's good to be here. It's good to bring this your way this evening, and we certainly look forward to all of that. Both teams are warming up out on the floor. The Challengers in their purple warm-ups this evening. The Bruins in their road blue uniforms with gold numerals. A lot of the names on this Bruins roster are very familiar to us. Names like Frankowiak, Jake Beeman, who's a senior this year, and also Josh Cerna, and Brad Russell. For the Challengers, for those of you less familiar, maybe watching down along the way in the Brookings area or beyond, the Challengers, a different look team than what we saw back last spring, a team laden with seniors, 9 back in the spring. This year, only 1 senior on the Challenger roster, and that's point guard Cody Reese. But there are some younger players on that Challenger squad who have ample varsity experience. Austin Maurer being one of them, the big 6'11" center that is kind of the talk of Southern Oregon basketball with the numbers that he's put up so far this year. His twin brother Peyton, who is just a mere 6'3", is there on the team, along with their cousin Tristan Wallace, seeing some time. He didn't play last year. And then we've got other guys that have been in the system for a long time, and now they're getting their opportunity to shine, in the likes of Landon Hess, Cannon Anderson, Daniel Nearing. We saw him as a backup last year, and he continues to come off the bench and provide valuable minutes for the Challengers. Challengers coming in with an 8-3 record. They were supposed to play on Tuesday before all the circumstances there. And in fact, there was to be a girls' game earlier today between the Bruins and the Challengers, and that didn't quite come to be with a number of athletes either. You got a lot in quarantine, really. It's around here, I know on our campus, it's not just COVID, but it's people with all these chest colds and flus and all the typical contagious winter maladies. And so you throw that all together, it kind of makes for challenging circumstances. Given that scenario, we're glad that we have the teams out here able to tip it off and compete this evening, and look forward to seeing what this season will bring in terms of the Far West League. And now, here joining me, junior varsity coach Mark McLemore. First of all, congratulations on your 55-38 victory earlier. I didn't get to see a whole lot of it, grabbing a bite to eat, but obviously, getting out and getting to play
Well,
and going out and winning is good.
Well, it's always good when you start league with a win, right?
Right.
This is our first league game, just like it is for the varsity, and a terrible start for us, down 13-8 after one, but held them to 2 points in the second quarter while we scored 16 and then took control of the game. So, kind of a rough start for us, and like I said, but the kids picked it up after that. Weren't really expecting Brookings to come out in a 2-2-1 full court press to start the game, and we turned the ball over a few times, made some mistakes right off the bat, but once we settled down, and let the chaos go and started playing challenger basketball in that second quarter, we, by the time we got to halftime, we had about a 10-point lead, and we took care of it. And the rest of the game stretched it out to 20 at one point, and finished strong. So very happy with the kids. Not real happy with that slow start, but other than that, as a coach, you always look for things that you can improve, and that's certainly one of them. But it's a good group of kids, and they play hard, and that's what you love. And then, especially defensively, holding them to 38 points. Very pleased with that effort.
Well, and then, of course, some of those kids may see some minutes in the varsity game.
Absolutely.
And, that's what it's all about, getting them groomed, getting them ready for, you hope that you don't have to give anybody a baptism by fire if your roster gets thinned out through injuries and illness. But it's all about getting these guys ready. So we look forward to that. Switching gears to the varsity, of course, now this will be the first action that they have seen now in 14 days, not since New Year's Day. The nice thing for them is that they come in on a roll after a big victory against Dayton. Would have loved to have seen what that Crestwell game would have brought, but, well, you can't cry over spilled milk.
No, you really can't. And Challenger's looking good, and like you mentioned, the last 4 or 5 games, and really have stepped up after, I would say, somewhat of a slow start for them this year. You look at their first 4 games, and they were 2-2. Of course, losing to Philomath and Junction City is nothing to, cry over, as those two teams very good in the 4A. And then after that, they've won 7 of 8 from there on out. So a very good winning streak right now of 4 games for the Challengers as they come into this one tonight. And just like us, like I said, they really want to, this is their first game in league, want to take care of your league games.
Right. Then as far as Brookings Harbor is concerned, before you arrived, Mark, we're talking a little bit about, we see a lot of familiar names on that Brookings Harbor roster, names like Beeman, Frankowiak, also Cerna, and some other players like that. It always seems like no matter what happens, that there's a lot of emotion. There's that intensity that comes with league rivals tipping it off. And that it's the expectation is that it'll be a very competitive game.
Well, and you look at their schedule too. They haven't played since the 30th of December, so both these teams quite a gap since their last games. But Brookings even longer of a gap than the Challengers.
Well, we're just moments away from the start of tonight's ball game. Right now, getting ready to do some of the pregame festivities. What this will do is provide us opportunity to recognize our sponsors. And then when we return, we'll have the starting lineups, and then we'll get ready for the start of tonight's ball game right here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
This year, don't just replace your windows, renew them with beautiful and energy-efficient windows from Bill's Glass. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home or auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
The playing of our national anthem. Now let's meet the starting lineups. We'll go ahead and turn it up.
Senior, number 1, Jake Beeman. A freshman, number 4, Jared Frankovia. A sophomore, number 5, Wyatt Barnes. A junior, number 34, Josh Cernan. Senior, number 55, Brian Russell. Julie serves as head coach Brandon Hodges and assisted by Marshall Frankovia. And now for your Cascade Christian Challenger. A 5'10" senior guard, number 1, Cody Reese. Sophomore wing, number 2, Peyton Maurer. A 6'1" junior forward, number 4, Tristan Wallace. 5'11" junior guard, number 12, Landon Hess. A 6'11" sophomore senior, number 34, Austin Bauer.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, our starting lineup for tonight's ball game. Jim McCoy here along with Mark McLemore. Cascade Christian Jr. Wyatt Rainey over on the camera this evening, displaying all the action. And, well, Mark, here we go. It seems like it's been forever.
Yeah, it certainly does. Clear since, I think, the Christmas Classic, since we've been together doing a game. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to see the Challengers play against a very quality opponent in Brookings. Probably going to be vying for, the league title, just like the Challengers. I think might be the most difficult foe the Challengers face all year.
Russell at 6'7", up against Maurer. Mauer's going to fight from three-point range. His shot rims off. Wallace tried to fight for it, but Russell clears it. One of the few guys in this league that doesn't give up a ton of height to Maurer.
Yeah, it's true. He got knocked into it, but he looks like he's all right. Challengers taking the ball back in.
Gets me all choked up thinking about it.
I can tell.
Reese out of back court, picked up by Harms. That'll be a fun little matchup to watch this evening between a pair of couple quick guards. Meanwhile, Peyton Maurer, he lays it up and in.
Nice little play by the Challengers out of after the bucket by the Brookings Bruins.
Meanwhile, wasting no time getting it up the floor. Shot missed, but Austin Maurer out of backcourt. Fires it for Hess. Hess starts a drive, kicks it back out for Austin. Now he's going to drive hard to the hole. He lays it up and in.
I tell you what, he gets ahead of steam. It only takes him a step and a half to get to the rim from the three-point line.
Well, I got a nickname for him now. I call him Cheat Code.
Yeah, you
of the
got
video
that right.
game numbers that you have. Off the Brookings miss, up the floor, Hess to Reese. Reese spins to the hoop, and that is kind of his stock and trade. He'll push it up the floor, and he's not fearful of going hard to the hole, and he'll draw his share of fouls and opportunities at the charity stripe.
Well, the big thing for Cody is his ability to elevate. He can get up for a little guy.
Yes. Reese generally, I was going to say generously listed at 5'10", averaging 12 points a game for the Challengers. He's the second leading scorer, so this year as a senior, he stepped up in a little bit more of a scoring role, whereas he was more of a distributor in years past. First free throw attempt is good.
And has always been a top-notch defender. And when I say top-notch, I mean one of the best in the state.
Well, to your point, he's averaging a pair of steals. He's averaging actually 3 steals a game. Makes most of his free throws, shooting at a 75% clip from the charity stripe. Gives the Challengers a 4-point lead. We're just about 2 minutes into this ball game. Fire over for Harms. Harms to Russell in the high post. And Reese, talked about that defense, smacked of hands there, knocks it away.
Yeah, and Austin wasn't sure who touched it last, so he kind of let it go out of bounds. I think he would have went at it a little more aggressively if he'd known that Cody had touched it last.
So Bruins with the inbound. Beeman with it. Feeds it for Frankowiak. Russell in the low post. Makes his move on Maurer. He misses the shot. Austin up the floor to Hess. Quick pass, tipped around. Maurer's going to shoot from three-point range, and he buries it.
Good job.
That's why you call him cheat code.
Yeah, exactly. Good job that time of Landon Hess of getting that ball back and reversing it to Maurer, who was wide open at the top at the three-point line.
You just remember those back in the day, maybe with video games and stuff like that, where you kind of found that little hack, and you could just, it was like shooting fish in a barrel. Sometimes you watch Austin play, and it's almost not fair. It almost seems like it. He can do about everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
We get to watch him play a lot, and we love it. Meanwhile, steal by Peyton Maurer.
And he was afraid to go over and back, though. He should have just collected the ball.
Russell for 2. He's like, yeah, we can score points. Wallace goes through his hands. But there's cheat code with the two-handed jam.
Yeah, I think you might want to guard him down on the block. Just a guess, though.
Yeah. Will you imagine being 6'7", giving away 4 inches? Meanwhile, it's Beeman. His shot just a little bit long. Weak side rebound out to Peyton Maurer. And a steal out of backcourt by Frankowiak. He outruns the posse. He lays it up and in. Maurer with it. He's going to shoot the 3. Heat check.
He's that hot right now.
Averaging 25 points a game. And the Challengers' leading three-point shooter, at least in terms of attempts and makes. Meanwhile, Reese starts a drive.
Well, he got a steal first.
Yes. And Cerna, and that'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. Cannon Anderson going to check in. He's averaging 7 points a game off the Challenger bench. And he's starting to come into his own.
He really is. He's gotten a lot better this year.
Sophomore guard. Maurer going to eye the 3. This one off target. Wallace tips it, and it comes out to Harms. Harms, 5'7" guard, quickly up the floor to Frankowiak, the 5'11" freshman. Harms quickly picked up by Wallace. You see Russell there in that low post. Up high it goes.
Yeah, and they're trying to get the ball down into Russell against.
Well, you can see definitely Russell's got that big, offensive lineman type of build.
And he's kind of bully Austin a little bit. Cody Reese comes down and gets another steal. That's two for Cody right off the bat. And another turnover for Brookings.
Well, for all the offense that they generate, the one thing that Coach Morris is most proud of is what his team does defensively, and really that is the basis for all his teams. We have a timeout called. We will take one as well. And when we return, we've got more coming your way on TableRockSports.net.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between 7,000 and
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3P Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
14-6 ball game coming out of the timeout. Challenger basketball. Wallace to Peyton Maurer at the free throw line. Dumps it in to his brother. Little fadeaway, 2.
Austin's got 12 points in the first quarter of Cascade 16.
Averages 25 a game. And then meanwhile going the other way, quick move to the hoop by Ethan Orman, who just checked into the ball game. 6-foot sophomore guard. And now the Challengers get it, leading by 10, as you can see on your John L. Scott scoreboard, with 3:10 left to go in the first quarter of play.
Challengers taking control of this one, mostly because of Austin Maurer and his 12 points here in the quarter.
Yeah, 36 in one game at the Salem Academy tournament. Cannon Anderson, his shot in and out. Rebound comes out to Harms. Beeman and Harms out of backcourt. Over into the corner to Frankowiak, being guarded by Peyton Maurer. He'll start a drive, pulls up, shot a little short, gets his own rebound. Feeds it across, Orman. And a travel call against the Bruins. Familiar looking crew out here tonight. I don't know the one gentleman down here, but see Sherm Holt and Jay Campbell in the house this evening.
Yeah, a nice group of officials tonight for the Challengers.
You betcha. And then meanwhile, Reese gets a step on Harms. He lays it up and in.
And that's the one thing you talked about it earlier. Cody has gotten a lot better at finishing at the rim. And that time a really nice finish as he gets around his guy.
Averaging 12 points a game. He's also the team leader in assists as well as steals. A big weapon for Cascade. Meanwhile, Russell goes to the hole. They'll count the basket, and he's fouled. Brad Russell with the hoop and the harm. And he's just one of, there's another young team, only 2 seniors on this Bruins squad.
Yeah, they're a very young team and, improving team as well, just like the Challengers.
For Reese, that's his second personal foul of the ball game. So he's out. Daniel Nearing is in the ball game, and Hess is back in for the Challengers. Free throw attempt, rims off. Austin Maurer with the rebound, up the floor to Anderson. Anderson pushing the pace. Now to Austin. Austin's going to shoot the 3. He buries it.
Oh, boy. I don't know what you do about that, because if you come out and guard him, he's going to take you to the rack.
Meanwhile, Frankowiak wheels and deals. Russell going to shoot from the short corner. His shot no good. Ball's loose. We have Anderson there. And we also have, I believe that's Beeman. Yes, it is.
Good hustle by the Challengers there to get the basketball back. Up 21-8, 1:35 to go.
Nice first quarter if you're a Challengers fan. Maurer to Maurer. Austin going to try to feed it inside for Nearing. Nearing uses some of his bulk to drive to the hoop, but unfortunately he's whistled for the travel.
I didn't see that one. Did you, Jim?
I did not.
It did not look like a travel to me.
No. Harms with the drive. Little reverse move. It won't stick. Peyton Maurer out of backcourt. Goes off his feet. He's going to go ahead and chase it down. Peyton out of backcourt. The lefty going to go hard to the hole. His shot no good, but we have a whistle and a foul called against the Bruins. And for Peyton, you're going to get good defense from, and he's got good length. seems like it was in that Salem Academy tournament where you begin to see that he's starting to maybe begin to assert himself a little bit more offensively.
Yeah, that's what coaches are encouraging him to do, is be a little more aggressive on the offensive end, and you're starting to see some of that. Nice drive that time by him. And he makes the first free throw.
Peyton Maurer averaging 5 points a game. Austin Maurer going to get a little breather at the end of the quarter as his cousin, Tristan Wallace, checks into the ball game.
And that's typically what they've been doing, is getting Austin out about a minute to go in the first. Give him a little bit of a break before they go back to the second quarter.
Second attempt on its way. This one just a little bit short. Nearing with the offensive rebound. He's going to move. Now fire out to Anderson. Anderson from long range, and it's good. Meanwhile, Russell quickly going the other way against Nearing, and he lays it up and in. Challengers wasting no time getting up the floor. Anderson now for Peyton Maurer. Wallace starts to move, but he has it taken away. Frankowiak with a steal. Quickly up the floor, it goes to Beeman. Beeman, little Euro step type move, and we have a whistle. And a
fouls on Cannon Anderson, I'm pretty sure.
So for the Challengers, that'll be their third team foul. That is the first personal of the ball game for the Challenger sophomore.
You're going to see
Beeman at the free throw line. His older brother, Luke, I tell you what, if you look at the records for goals and assists in Oregon soccer, the Beeman name is all over it. Next attempt is good.
So they're going to put Austin and Cody back in for this last play to end the quarter, as the Challengers have scored 25 points in this opening quarter, right?
That's NBA numbers.
That's got to be a first for them, I think, that I can remember, at least in the recent past.
Anderson, now to Reese, and contact there. The official catches it. But foul on the floor and fouls to give. And that will go against Harms. That'll be his second personal foul of the ball game. Reese gets the screen from Maurer. Maurer's going to shoot. What can I say?
I don't know what you can say right there, as he knocks down another one, and the Challengers with 28 points in the quarter.
The superlatives are used up, and that will end the first quarter of play. Challengers leading 28-12. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with more for you here on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Well, back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, talked about that cheat code nickname, and there's a reason for it. It's like when you find that little hack in a video game, and the Challengers have video game-like numbers from the first quarter.
They certainly do, as the Challengers shoot 10 for 13 in the quarter. Austin Maurer with 18 points, and the Challengers with a big 28-12 lead. Meanwhile, Brookings just 5 for 15, 33% in the quarter. So, you know, it still comes down to making shots, right? As the Challengers 10 for 13.
Well, and it's not Lob City stuff either. What, Austin has 4 threes? 4
threes in the quarter.
Ay. Frankowiak being pressured to the backcourt by Hess. Hess, another one of those guys that gives Challengers good backcourt defense. Frankowiak on the drive, and that misses. Russell with the offensive rebound, and he puts it back.
And Russell's got 8 for them, too. So he's having a good night so far as well.
Battle of the big guys tonight. Russell at 6'7", Maurer at 6'11". And you can see, yeah, there's a lot of contact down there. Meanwhile, Hess has it stolen away by Frankowiak. Out of backcourt now is Beeman moving to his left. Russell tries to get it, but it's tipped away by a Challenger defender.
Peyton Maurer, I think. Brookings going to get it back.
But I tell you, folks, when you watch on these possessions, down in that low post area, Maurer and Russell with a tussle. Ball tipped away. Last touch by the Challengers.
I don't know who touched it. I didn't see any of the Challengers, but I guess somebody got it, at least according to the officials.
And so it'll be Beeman with the inbound. 7:11 to go in the half. Suppose it would be nice if I would update the scoreboard to reflect that. Shot missed, but there's Harms, and he puts it back.
Challengers having a little trouble of picking up those offensive rebounds. That's been their biggest issue here in this one.
Meanwhile, little Euro step by Maurer. Shot no good. Wallace tried to get the offensive rebound, but Frankowiak comes away with it out of backcourt. Hess is there to meet him. Frankowiak on the drive, off the glass. And the Bruins trying to fight their way back into this one. Meanwhile, Anderson kicks it out for Peyton Maurer. Now Austin will shoot. His shot rims off, no good. So maybe Austin cooling off a little bit on that long distance jumper. Meanwhile, you see a lot of action in that backcourt. Beeman out on the high wing now has an opening. He's going to drive hard to the hole, and there with it is Peyton Maurer. Peyton to Hess, now to Wallace. Austin Maurer going to shoot the three. That one just a little bit long. 5:54 to go in the half. The Challengers outscored, 4-3 maybe here in the quarter.
Actually, Challengers don't have a bucket in this quarter. 6-0 so far. It was 28 at the quarter.
Frankowiak moves to the hole. Shot no good. Whistle. Looks like that'll be against Anderson.
That's his second.
And that's one of the things you can see. Frankowiak, averaging about 15, 16 points a game, and you can see he's a big part of the game plan in terms of really forcing it and penetrating and drawing fouls in the process.
He's struggled a little bit from the field so far. He's only 2 for 7, but he has, as you mentioned, taken some shots and been aggressive.
Mason Hoffman, one of your guys checking into the ball game, sophomore. So now it's Reese, Peyton Maurer, Hoffman, Austin Maurer, and Tristan Wallace. Ball rims off. So we're going to keep Reese on. Well, no, Reese is out there. It's like Hess is the starter that's out at the moment.
And they're going to call a hand check foul on Russell.
And I believe for Russell that'll be his first personal of the ball game, but now that's 17 fouls for
and it's
the
1-1, so looks like Austin will go to the free throw line.
Austin Maurer averaging 25 points a game, 12 rebounds, almost 3 blocks a game. In the Bruin lineup, see Jeremy Green, number 3. Free throw attempt by Maurer, good. That is the first point of the quarter for the Challengers, who have been dry for about 2.5 minutes now.
Yep. Maybe that'll get them off the snide here in the second.
Second attempt on its way, and a little too much English on it. Ball's tipped around, and it goes out of bounds to Cascade.
So the Challengers get a break, get a possession here.
It's crazy free throw shooting against Dayton, 14 for 18. And we haven't always had that with the Challengers. Austin Maurer going to make his move, goes to the hole, nothing but air. Looking for a call, he didn't get. 10-point game here. 5:15 to go in the half. Frankowiak works it up top to Cortez, who's in the ball game. Russell move, rejected by Maurer. And his brother Peyton cleans it up. Up the floor it goes to Hoffman. Hoffman going to shoot the three. It's good.
Nice shot.
Mason Hoffman. His uncle Rob Klecker is the volleyball coach here at Cascade. Steal by the challengers. Wallace with the defense. Meanwhile, Reese with it. He's going to go hard to the hole. His shot rejected by Beeman. Cortez up the floor. Russell going to look to make a move, but he has it taken away. Wallace there. Austin Maurer now to Reese. Reese going to make a move. He's in traffic. Kicks it out for Hoffman. Wallace will shoot it, and there's a reason why typically he doesn't shoot from there. 32-19.
I would have liked to seen him drive the baseline instead of shoot that, but
he did have 9 against Dayton. I mean, he is capable of it.
Capable.
That's just a little bit out of his range.
Shot's still a work in progress. It'll get there.
It'll get there. Well, and I guess if there was a time where you'd say, well, you can try it now, and his shot missed him being a game where you're up by 13.
Yes.
Austin Maurer out of traffic. Look out. Here comes a move to the hoop. And
count the bucket.
Austin Maurer keeps racking it up. And now he'll go to the free throw line with a shot at a three-point play. Foul called against Green. It's his first personal. Of course, Austin, the grandson of Andy Maurer, who founded the Cascade Christian Challenger football program. His dad, Marty, arguably one of the best football players and one of the best basketball players that the program's ever had over the years.
Yep.
So, a rich legacy here in the Cascade program. It's now a 16-point ball game. Frankowiak going to pull up and shoot. And his struggles continue in this ball game. Rebound by Wallace up the floor to Hoffman. Daniel Nearing gets set to check back in. And Hoffman called for the travel. Could see a little shuffle there.
I think he should have just shot it, if you know what I mean.
I agree. Well, timeout called on the floor. We will take one as well. It's our sponsors who make this live high school athletic action available to you, including our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. Also, thanks to our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you. Hey, if you fans watching who played high school sports or beyond, we need you back in the game as an official. There is a critical need in all sports right now. Go to osaa.org and click on the blue Become an Official button to learn more. We hope to see you back on the court soon. Teams retaking the floor for the Bruins. Out there is Green along with Frankowiak, Beeman, Cortez, and Russell. Frankowiak feeds to Russell. Russell, he's in double figures.
He's been the one guy that's been able to consistently score so far against the challengers. See how this stretch goes with Austin Maurer out of the game.
Wallace with a drive to the hoop. Tries to dump it off there for Nearing.
And he gets fouled on the pass.
Bruins into the penalty. And that'll send Wallace to the free throw line. He's kind of that dirty work guy, the blue-collar man for the Challengers.
Yeah, he does all the stuff that you need a guy to do to play. He plays defense and rebounds.
Free throw attempt, a little bit short. He's averaging just a little over 3 points a ball game, but he's also the second leading rebounder on the Challenger squad. Green, up top it goes to Cortez. Now over the corner to Beeman. Beeman feeds it across, but it's taken away. Nearing is there. Out of traffic, he goes to Maurer. Peyton Maurer with the basketball. Up top, Hess. Around the horn it goes to Hoffman. Hoffman picks up his dribble and finds Wallace at the top of the key. Around the horn it goes. Nearing. Nice drive to the hoop.
Once he collected the ball, he headed to the hoop, and he's a lefty, so that helps him.
Daniel Nearing averaging about 2 points a game off the Challenger bench. Meanwhile, Russell can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. That shot short. And Nearing is there for the rebound. Timeout called by Cascade Christian. 2:05 left to go in the half.
And a nice run by the Challengers there at the end of that quarter after a slow start in the second.
Absolutely. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back here in about 30 seconds here on TableRockSports.net.
Life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, a 16-point lead for the Challengers with 2:05 left to go in the half. Reese back in the ball game along with Austin Maurer and Cannon Anderson. Austin down inside it goes, and unfortunately loses the handle on the ball, and it's taken by the Bruins. Out on the run, here comes Cortez. That's actually Cerna, and Cerna lays it up and in.
Cerna's first points on the night.
Meanwhile, we have a foul in the backcourt. Beeman with that "who me" expression.
I think they're going to call a foul on Beeman for holding Austin Maurer as he's trying to come down the court.
That'll be the second personal of the ball game, and now the Bruins in the double bonus. And Austin Maurer will go to the free throw line, where he has had an incredible half. First free throw attempt, rolls around and down. Challenger lead now 15. Second attempt, that one's good. Maurer shooting 71% from the free throw line coming into this ball game.
He's got 26 now.
Harms. Challenger school records 39. That could be in danger this year. Meanwhile, Beeman shoots it, rims off, and there with the rebound is Hoffman. Hoffman gets knocked away in the process.
And he'll go to the free throw line. That is one of the best efforts I've seen from Mason playing varsity. So nice job by him coming in and helping the Challengers with a little bit of foul trouble with both Cody Reese and Cannon Anderson. And Mason's been able to come in and give him a few minutes.
First free throw attempt, a little bit flat. And then, of course, he saw action playing on the JV squad earlier this afternoon.
Yeah, had a nice game for us as well.
Second attempt, on its way. That one, just a little bit flat. Maurer, though, with the offensive rebound. His shot no good. He'll try it again, and he gets it to go. Challenger lead, 18. 1:02 left to go in the first half of play. Maurer now with 28 in the ball game. Meanwhile, Beeman with it. Hits every part of the rim and falls. Reese against Harms. A little shake and bake shot just a little bit short. Frankowiak with the rebound out of backcourt. Cortez. Skip pass over to Cerna. Cerna's going to drive, pull up, shoot.
And I think they're going to get a foul on Peyton Maurer there.
And for Peyton, I believe that'll be his first. And
just his first, yeah.
15 foul for Cascade. Fouled in the act of shooting is Cerna. Now, I may be mistaken, but if I'm correct, Cerna had a sister, Anna, that played soccer at Brookings Harbor and is now attending Rogue Community College, or was at one point. Cerna connects on that second attempt. 41-26 with 22 seconds left to go in the half. Reese out of backcourt, guarded by Harms. Cody gets a screen from Austin. Little screen and roll action, kick it out for Anderson. His shot just a little bit long. Wallace tries to fight for that rebound. Russell is there along with Beeman. And they're going to say the Bruins touched it last with 2.9 to go in the half. Bound for Anderson, he'll shoot. It's just a little rolls around and out, and that will end the first half of play. Coming up on halftime here, and it is the Challengers leading the Bruins by 15, 41-26. We'll take a timeout, and when we return, we'll bring you the Medford Parks and Recreation halftime report, and that will follow these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Workers' comp claim was denied. Or was it accepted? Now what are you supposed to do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L 4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3-peat Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Waiting, even a few days, to report a work injury or illness could cost you everything. But how do you know what you should do? Find out for free. Call Schlesinger and de Villeneuve immediately and let us fight for you.
Gather and memories are made. Tap Rock Northwest Grill.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Sherm's Thunderbird Market has been serving Southern Oregon for over 50 years. We are thankful and proud to be able to say that our employees are like family, and we certainly couldn't serve Southern Oregon so well without them.
I love my job, and what better place to work than for the people who care about you and your community.
We really are treated more like family rather than just employees.
Our loyal customers make my job fun and more enjoyable.
Sherm's is now hiring. Go to our website to see what positions are available.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, it's time for the Medford Parks and Recreation halftime show. Our halftime update is brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Winter Recreation Guide is out with sports leagues and activities to sign up for now. Visit playmedford.com or call 774-2400 to learn more. In this ball game, Challengers, and in particular, Austin Maurer got hot early, and the Challengers built them a nice lead that they haven't let go of, although the Bruins did make a little bit of a run early in the second quarter. Challengers went cold for a while, but the Challengers regained their stride, and you end up with a 15 margin at the half. I know looking at those first quarter numbers, we saw the Challengers started out the game 10 for 13. You'll win a lot of ball games unless you don't play defense. and doing that, and an insane half of scoring for Austin Maurer. Mark's got his list, and he's checking it twice, making sure we got all the numbers up to date here, but quite a half for the Challengers. Meanwhile, Brookings has played competitive basketball. Russell has been a weapon for them. He's used his strength and physicality against Maurer to create points for them. It's been a relatively quiet half for Frankowiak, but you can see where, as you mentioned, Mark, when these two teams get together on the road, down the road sometime in this conference schedule, it's going to be a battle over there.
It's always a battle with this team. I mean, Challengers really did themselves a lot of favors. You mentioned it, shooting 10 for 13 in that first quarter, and just 5 for 15 in the second quarter. So, but that great start is what's got them this lead here at 41-26 at half. So a nice run to open the game, and Maurer doing a lot of the damage. He's got 28 points in the first half. So really good job by him of leading the way for the Challengers and making shots when they needed him to. On the Brookings side of the sheet, they shot 11 for 28 in that first half. That's 39% for them. 4 for 7 from the free throw line, just 57%. But they only had 7 turnovers, so did a good job of taking care of the basketball for the most part. Scoring for Brookings, Beeman has 6. Frankowiak has 5. Harms has 2. Josh Cerna with 3. And Brad Russell with 10. So that's the scoring for them. They had all 5 of their starters really did most of the damage in that first half, as you would expect. For the Challengers, again, they shot 15 for 28. That's 54% in the first half. Scoring for the Challengers, Cody Reese had 4. Peyton Maurer with 3. Cannon Anderson with 3. Mason Hoffman with 3. And we mentioned Austin Maurer had 28, and Daniel Nearing with a bucket. Turnovers for the Challengers, just 4 turnovers for Cascade Christian in that first half. Coach is going to be very happy with that. However, some of those shooting numbers for the Bruins, I think Challengers are going to double down here on the defensive end here in the second half. 26 points against the Challenger defense in a half is quite a bit, considering what we've been seeing this season. But and also almost 40% shooting for a opponent is unusual against Cascade. So I'm sure the defensive things are what they're probably talking about in the locker room right now. But the Challengers are doing a great job of making shots as they're 15 for 28.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the Challengers, they got a big one coming up on Monday at the MLK Yoda Invitational. They'll be up in Harrisburg. If you happen to be up maybe in the Eugene area or Salem area and you want to come down and see a good game on Monday evening at 6 p.m., the Challengers will be taking on Westside Christian. A lot of storylines for this game, Mark, is David Henry, Challenger alumni, also a former Challenger assistant coach. He went up there, those first couple of years, a lot of growing pains, but now he's got that program firing on all cylinders, and they're looking good. And they've got some tough competition up there with the likes of De La Salle North Catholic, and it will be interesting to see how that game comes up, because I could see either one of those teams taking the game if both play the game they want to play.
Well, both those teams, very talented and skilled. David Henry right now ranked number 1 in the state, 11-0, I think, is Westside Christian. So very talented team, and they've played. It's not like they've played nobody either. They've beat Santiam Christian. They beat Dayton. They have played some good teams. They beat De La Salle recently. So very good, very athletic team. It'll be a challenge for Cascade Christian going up there to play them for sure. But it'll kind of give the Challengers a measuring stick as to where they are in this part of the season too. You always like to play those games against those good teams to get those measuring sticks.
Absolutely right. And then meanwhile, the Brookings is scheduled to take on North Bend on the road coming up on the 17th. Now, the word is over on the coast that, depending upon how the health situation looks in that community that weekend, and then they also have a home contest coming up a week from tonight against Sutherland. Meanwhile, for the Challengers, we mentioned the Westside Christian game on Monday. Then they'll take a few days off and they'll travel up to Douglas. Our next broadcast will be when the Challengers play host to South Umpqua coming up on the Tuesday the 26th. So look forward to bringing that to you, and hopefully we can get the girls going again. I know the girls been hit with a little bit of illness. I don't know. You know that I'm coaching the girls 6th grade basketball team this year over here at Cascade, and I know we had our Wednesday game against St. Mary's scrubbed from the schedule, and hopefully we had a chance to play at Rogue Valley Adventist on Thursday. We'll go ahead and take one final timeout. Halftime show has been brought to you by PlayMedford.com, where classes and activities for the entire family are available. Registration for winter and spring are happening now. Sign up at PlayMedford.com or call the Santos Center at area code 541-774-2400, and that will help get you started. Today's game is brought to you in part by Avista Utilities and our friends from My Circle K, powered by GP Energy. Morning motivation, crunch in your lunch, and fuel for your road trip begins with My Circle K. We're getting ready to start the second half. Challengers leading by 15 in this one. Bring that scoreboard up for you. Challengers come out with their original starting lineup of Hess, Wallace, Reese, Peyton Maurer, and Austin Maurer. They'll have the ball, Challengers in their home white uniforms. It'll be Harms picking up Reese. Needs a little help. Wallace is there. Out on the wing. He's going to go drive hard to the hole. 2.
Great decision that time by Wallace, as he sees he doesn't have Maurer on the low block, and he just blows by his guy for a layup.
Well, he's not a slug. He plays running back in football. Shot by Frankowiak, and he's had his challenges tonight.
Yeah, he's just 2 for 9 so far.
Austin Maurer, and ball stripped away, coming away with it. Beeman quickly up the floor to Frankowiak. Shot rolls off, but we have a whistle and a foul against Cascade. Frankowiak will go to the free throw line. Foul will be against Landon Hess. That's his first of the ball game.
Oh, nice drive that time by Frankowiak after the turnover.
Free throw attempt. That one's good. When you can see that good shooting touch there at the free throw line.
And remember, he's just a freshman.
And he goes 2 for 2. So he provides an answer for the Bruins here early in the second half. Down in the corner, Hess will fire from 3. His shot rims off. He can shoot from out there.
Yeah, that one was halfway down, just didn't stay.
Well, as a matter of fact, if I'm not mistaken, I think in terms of three-point percentage, Hess has the highest on the team. He's just not a guy that shoots a whole lot.
Right.
There's only one ball, and, you know, you've got plenty of guys that can handle that for the Challengers. But it's good to know you got that weapon in your cache if you need it. Frankowiak. Hess falls to the floor. Bounce pass, baseline jumper by Russell. And Wallace is there for the rebound. Reese out of backcourt. Dribbles hard to the hole. His shot just a little bit short. Here comes Harms. Swings it to Frankowiak. Dribbles against Reese. His shot goes.
Challengers look a little slow, a little sluggish out of the gate here in the third quarter.
Frankowiak tries the steal. And fouls Maurer in the process. Helps him back up.
Actually, I don't think they called a foul. They just called it out of bounds, which was interesting
All right.
because I thought it was a foul.
Looked that way from here. But they didn't ask me. I don't know why. Reese with the basketball against Harms. There's Austin Maurer. He'll shoot it from out there, and he'll make it from out there. If I'm not mistaken, that's his 5th triple of the ball game.
And that's 31 points for him.
Meanwhile, Frankowiak drives, gets his own rebound, and this one goes.
Not afraid to shoot it, that's for sure.
showcasing a little bit of his talents here in the second half. Reese. Peyton Maurer now to Austin. Austin in the low block, kicks it out for Hess. Now Reese gets a screen from Austin, and then the ball stripped away by Frank Koyak. Good defensive play by the freshman. Frank Koyak drives the baseline, picks up his dribble now. Gets it out to Cerna. Russell fires from the free throw line, 2.
Got to get at least a hand up on him. Making a little run, down to 12.
I know enough about that Coach Morse body English. I can come on, guys. Peyton Maurer. Up top it goes for Wallace. Reese gets a screen from Austin Maurer. And that'll go against Harms. That'll be his third personal foul of the ball game. First team foul of the half for Brookings Harbor. Well, the Bruins not going away. Coming up with what they needed to try to stay in this one. Recently, a little reverse move. And a foul underneath.
That one's on Russell. That's going to be his third as well.
And I get the feeling that maybe that might be a move to be utilized a couple more times and neutralize the big guy.
Well, quickness, he got around him and was able to get his shot up around him and get fouled.
Reese connects on the first free throw attempt.
One thing Reese has done a lot of work on this year is his free throws and shooting a good percentage this year as a senior.
Averaging 12 points a game, and like Austin Maurer, he can fill up a stat sheet. He's 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Cody averaging 12 points a game. And then in terms of assists, he's averaging almost 5 a game, 4 rebounds a game, and almost 3 steals a game. Reese providing that tough defense on Cerna. Now Russell on the low block. Austin Maurer's there. Russell will try it again. And Austin, who generally does a pretty good job of staying out of foul trouble, will get whistled there. And that'll be just his first of the ball game.
Yeah, I don't think he's seen a guy with quite as much athletic ability with the size that Russell has. He does a good job out there for a big guy.
He sure does.
Misses his first free throw, however.
What do you figure? He probably goes about 240, 250?
I would say at least, yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I look at him, I'm thinking offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Brookings Harbor didn't play football this year. Hopefully they'll get back next year. Meanwhile, Austin Maurer shot in and out, no good. And the rebound comes out to Harms. Harms lets Wallace pass him by. 14-point ball game with 4:11 to go in the third. Frank Koyak drives, kicks it out. Russell. Cerna now off the skip pass. And meanwhile, a little trouble with the handle there, but Frank Koyak is there. Little drive to the hoop, rejected by Austin Maurer. That's the thing, even when he doesn't block it, he disturbs it.
Yeah, absolutely. Alters shots all the time.
Cerna with the inbound. Russell going to try a 3, and that's good.
And he's doing most of the damage so far for Brookings Harbor, and it's down to an 11-point game.
3:42 to go in the third.
Brookings doing a nice job of getting back in it here in the third quarter.
Meanwhile, Peyton Maurer, his shot off target, but Reese there with the offensive rebound, feeds it to Wallace, and it goes.
Nice job by the littlest guy on the court getting the rebound and giving it to Tristan.
And for Wallace, that's his second bucket of the ball game. It's a 13-point affair. Beeman kind of slid to the floor, and he's called for the travel. Not much he could do there, just kind of lost a little control. And a timeout called. 3:12 left to go in the third. The Challengers lead by 13. We'll take a timeout and be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
You're a coach or plan to be a coach. What kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, guy! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it.
I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
There's a time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed, from the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
I don't care what anybody says. I tell you what, in this gym, we get the best timeout music in the business.
Well, you know who's running it over there?
Russell Brown, none other than former Quest frontman and bass player with the Michael Bond Band. Okay, there you go, Russell. There's your shout out for the night.
There you go.
When he's not insuring cars and homes, he's got a long history here at Cascade as well as his dad. Maurer with the feed, going to get it over for his brother Peyton. And
foul called on as Peyton was driving the baseline. That's going to go on Cerna.
And that'll be his third foul of the ball game. Austin takes the feed, shoots it a little bit too long though. He'll fire from three, a little higher degree of difficulty, but no problem.
Knocks it down.
Austin Maurer puts the Challengers up by 16. Meanwhile, Frankowiak, his shot rims off. Brad Russell there, and he muscles it home. Reese with the basketball, over for Peyton Maurer. He's going to drive, kicks it out for Austin. Austin will shoot another three, that one off target. Beeman, he'll collect the rebound on the strong side. Quickly up the floor it goes. Now for Frankowiak. Beeman. Pass over for Harms. Reese there to disturb it. Cerna now shakes his man, shoots, and it rims off. Ball goes out of bounds, last touch by Cerna. And with 1:57 left to go in the third, the Challenger lead is 14. Landon Hess will get ready to check back into the ball game. Peyton Maurer will come out for a breather.
Kind of been a short rotation for the Challengers tonight.
Yes, it has. And you get the feeling there are going to be some nights where we'll see that. Wallace up top to Anderson. Anderson starts a drive, but has it stripped by Frankowiak. He's saying, but I got ball.
Yeah, he's going to get a T if he doesn't watch it because he's John at the.
Yeah, that'll only go about so long. Let's just say a certain family member of mine went to Scenic Middle School where Jay Campbell is a teacher and also a baseball coach at Crater, and he's got a limit. Meanwhile, off the miss, Peyton tries the putback attempt. It's no good. Frankowiak. Russell falls to the floor, and meanwhile we have a whistle and a foul called against the Challengers.
Is that going to be on Landon? Nope, it's going to be on
Austin
Maurer.
Meanwhile, you can see where Russell fell to the floor at about mid-court. Took him a couple of seconds to shake the cobwebs and get up. Taking the inbound. That's Beeman over there. He'll shoot, and his shot rims off. Russell with the offensive rebound. He's going to drive hard to the basket. Little hook shot, no good. Austin with the rebound. Now Cerna's going to come and provide pressure, and then ball knocked away by Brookings Harbor. So you can see part of their secret sauce is the active hands on defense.
Yeah, they're not a bad team. You know, they've other than that first quarter, they've really stayed with the Challengers.
Shot by Peyton Maurer is short. And we have a foul called against Cannon Anderson in the backcourt. That's his third personal, 15th foul for Cascade.
Challengers kind of gone cold here in the third quarter, or late part of the third quarter anyway. Still keeping that lead though, as it's 14. It's been between 14 and 16 since that first quarter when they led 28-12.
Up the floor it goes. Russell now feeds it to Beeman. Nice play. .12-point game with 54 seconds to go in the third. Reese going to drive. Kicks it out. Shot by Maurer, by Hess is no good. Frankowiak out of backcourt. Cerna, stolen by Maurer. Up the floor is Reese. Reese is going to push it. Bounce pass up for Anderson. He goes hard to the hole. And we have a whistle and a foul called against the Bruins. To the line, Camden Anderson.
First time at the free throw line tonight for Cannon.
He's averaging 7 points a game off the challenger bench. First free throw attempt is good. Tristan Wallace will check back into the ball game now as Austin gets a brief breather. Next attempt by Anderson is up, and it is good. Cannon Anderson, the leading free throw shooter for the Challengers, shooting 88% on the year.
Wow, impressive.
Yes. And just another one of those young guys that just keeps growing in confidence. Frankowiak, he lacks no confidence, and he scores. 7 seconds. Reese trying to drive, spins to the hoop. Going to try to kick it out for Wallace, but the pass low and outside. So 2.3 buzzer heave opportunity for the Bruins. Harms will inbound, and keep your eye out there for Frankowiak. And he'll shoot it. And it's high off the glass, and that will end the quarter. After 3, Brookings Harbor continuing to fight. It's a 12-point game, 55-43. We'll be back after these messages on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at My Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with My Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, we're getting ready for the start of the fourth quarter of play. The Brookings Harbor Bruins showing strong resolve as they can't quite close the gap, but they make runs. And sometimes if you're not careful, if you're the other team, they'll break through on you.
Well, down from 15 points at half to 12. Still got a ways to go here.
And Wallace there with a deflection. Cerna called for the foul.
That's his fourth, I believe.
So, and those are kind of piling up for both teams. Now for Brookings Harbor, that is their 16th foul of the second half. So
next one will be bonus for the Challengers.
Reese to Peyton in the high post. He starts a drive, loses the handle on it. Tries to feed it to Austin, and it's taken away by Cerna. Cerna 2-on-1. He'll bounce pass it to Frankowiak, 2. 10-point ball game. 7.5 minutes to go. Reese with it. He glides to the hole. Take that.
Well, I think he can get that most anytime he wants it right now.
Cerna pulls up at the free throw line, and the bank is open on Friday night.
That was an ugly shot, but it went in. Down to 10 again.
Well, if you want pretty, go to an art museum.
I guess so.
Reese with the basketball. Over for Wallace. Skip pass, Austin. Gonna kick it over for Reese. Reese gonna drive, kicks it back out for Austin. His shot rims off, rebound to Beeman. Bruins with the opportunity to break it to double digits. Frankowiak, and it is tipped away by Wallace. Peyton tries to run it down. You get the feeling sometimes he just struggles a little bit with his hands.
Yep. He didn't see where that ball was at soon enough to be able to get to it.
Russell takes the inbound, and stealing it is Reese. Reese out of backcourt. 2-on-1. Peyton to Reese. 2. Nice defense. Nice finish for the Challengers, who are now up by 12. 6:22 to go in the ball game. Frankowiak going to penetrate for Russell. Russell making his move against the double team. Frankowiak gets the miss, but he loses it out of bounds. And you kind of see that frustration beginning to mount for him a little bit. And he's not going to like this call either.
Nope.
So it'll be a backcourt foul against the Bruins. That's 7, so they're in the bonus now. And that's 3 fouls on Frankowiak.
And that's sort of a freshman maturity level move right there that you saw.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So it'll send Cannon Anderson to the free throw line for Cascade.
You mentioned earlier, a very good free throw shooter for the Challengers so far this year.
Free throw attempt on its way. It's good.
3 for 3 tonight.
And he'll look at another.
Challenger lead back up to 13 after being down as low as 10.
And he goes 2 for 2. Cannon Anderson.
He's got his 7-point average on the night so far.
Cerna with the basketball. Frankowiak. Russell will shoot from downtown. In and out. Austin Maurer with a rebound. Quickly up the floor. And he overthrows his intended target.
Peyton Maurer. Maurer to Maurer, a little.
Yeah. Guess what they're working on in the backyard over the weekend?
Yeah, little overthrown.
Meanwhile, Frankowiak glides to the hole. His shot in and out, but Russell's there. 61-49 with 5:38 to go. Austin drives, and we'll get the Bruins called for a block, much to the chagrin of Brad Russell. That's 4 for him.
4 for him and 4 for Cerna as well.
And you got Frankowiak with 3, so.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. This is going to be an interesting rematch over on the coast because as you're well aware, the officiating over on the coast is usually a different level.
We'll just say it's different.
It'll be a much more physical game. They'll allow it to be that way.
Well, and you know what you do there if you're the visiting, you adjust.
Well, you have to.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting.
Yes, it will. You don't really think physical maybe outside of Wallace and Nearing, but. And the drive good by the Bruins. Austin Maurer. Now to Anderson. Anderson going to glide to the hole. That didn't quite go the way he'd planned it.
No, it did not.
Cerna. Beeman with the baseline jumper. Just a little bit long. Austin there along with Russell and Cerna underneath the basket. And they're going to say it was last touched by Brookings Harbor.
No, it was a foul on Russell. That's his 5th.
No, he's gone for the night.
Gone. And
that's going to hurt if you're a Brookings Harbor fan. Austin Maurer, incredible evening. 28 points in the first half. He makes the first. Landon Hess back in the ball game for Wallace. Second attempt is good.
He's got 38.
65-51, 4:48 left to go in the ball game. Kick it out for Frankowiak. Little spinner, no good. Austin Maurer with the rebound. Cody Reese slides to the hole. He lays it up with the left hand for two. Cerna grabbing some sky. You can hear the hand hit the bottom of the backboard.
Back to a 16-point lead now for the Challengers.
Frankowiak spins, fades away, shot off to the left. Austin Maurer quickly up the floor to Reese, bounce pass to Anderson. He can't make it, but he gets another attempt. That one's good. He's fouled. He'll go to the line.
Cody's going, you took away my assist, though. And a nice finish here by the Challengers after Brookings Harbor made that little run. Cascades come back here in the last 2 minutes and really put this game away.
Cannon Anderson closing in on double figures. That one rims out, a rare miss for him. 18-point lead with 4:05 left to go. Looks like we got a substitution JV player coming into the ball game. Riley Richardson checking into the ball game.
Yep.
And I don't know if I've seen him play.
Well, he hasn't played much because he broke his collarbone in football, and he's just been back since the 5th of January.
Cerna with it, rejected. Couldn't see whether that was Reese or...
That was Peyton Maurer.
Peyton Maurer.
Peyton Maurer coming over with the block.
With the inbound, Cerna. Frankowiak, he'll drive against Peyton Maurer. His shot is good. Frankowiak, the basket will count. Oh, I take that back.
I think the basket is going to count.
Oh, they are going to count it. Okay. All right. You don't necessarily see that every day.
No, it was kind of a box-out foul, and sometimes it depends on when the ball was released versus when the foul was called. And so they're going to count the basket, and then Riley Richardson's going to go down to the other end and shoot some free throws.
Richardson, first attempt. Bounces around and off. It remains a 16-point ball game at 69-53. So Richardson, one of those newer faces to the Cascade program. Second attempt is good.
And his first varsity point.
Riley Richardson. Yeah, he played football this year before going down with an injury. Meanwhile, we got a foul called against the Challengers. That's going to go against Cody Reese. Daniel Nearing going to check in.
Okay. Austin Maurer going to check out.
And now Cerna will take care of the inbound. Beeman shoots it. He cans it. 70-55. 3:22 to go in the game.
10 points now on the night for Beeman.
Meanwhile, Reese drives, and it goes.
14 on the night for Reese.
2 above his average of 12. Meanwhile, lefty jumper from Orman, 3. Ethan Orman. Meanwhile, Hess, shot just a little bit long. Fighting for it down in the corner is Maurer. Maurer to Reese, then to Nearing. Nearing just flat loses the handle on it as he works his way up. Meanwhile, Cerna drives. His shot, no good. Rebound taken by Hess. Up to Reese, up the floor quickly. Richardson can't quite get there. So 2:27 to go. Brookings Harbor ball. Frankowiak drives. And some more of the Challenger night shift checking in as we see Cade Goldade along with Dylan Westlake. And who's that, Brody Sample there at the bench?
Brody Sample, yeah.
Yep.
All played in the JV game.
Frankowiak. First free throw attempt is good. So 2:21, it'll be Hess, Nearing, and Reese will go to the Challenger bench.
Frankowiak with 18 points on the night. He's had a good night himself.
Yes, he had started kind of cold, but he's just, shoot or shoot. Hoffman with a rebound for Cascade. Works it back to Westlake. Goldade out on the wing. Cross court to Richardson. Richardson drives. And a foul called against the Bruins. That'll go against Beeman. That'll be his fourth personal of the ball game. And Briley Richardson back to the free throw line for Cascade. First free throw attempt, nothing but net. One more coming. And it's good.
3 for 4 for Briley from the free throw line. Good for him.
74-59. Beeman drives hard against Hoffman, glides to the hole, his shot no good. Hoffman with a rebound, outlets for Richardson. Richardson out of backcourt and in a little bit of trouble there. And a timeout called by Cascade. All right, well, we'll go ahead and keep it right here. Take care of a little bit of housekeeping while we're at it. Help pay for a couple of bills here. Table Rock Sports says thank you to the over 100 new YouTube subscribers this fall. Want to join our team? Go to our Table Rock Sports page at youtube.com and click on the red subscribe button. And also, I want to remind you that today's game is brought by you by our regional sponsors, including Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less, John L. Scott Real Estate, and Travel Medford and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission. Great partners in keeping high school athletics streaming for you. I was talking earlier this evening with a parent from Brookings talking about how grandparent was watching from Costa Rica tonight.
Oh, good. Awesome.
Tried to feed it inside. Ball tipped away by the Bruins. Out of backcourt is Beeman. Beeman going to shoot the three, and it won't go. Dylan Westlake, smallest man on the floor, gets the rebound. Now out for Hoffman. Hoffman lets the traffic pass him by. Now for Westlake. Westlake gets it. No, and he have a little bit of contact there, and Cerna's done for the evening.
Yes, he is.
So now that will send Dylan Westlake, goalkeeper for the boys soccer team that unfortunately did not play this last season.
Yes, unfortunately.
He is, in a word, fearless.
He is, and that's what makes him a good basketball player as well. He misses the first one, though. See if he can get a point here in the varsity game tonight.
And he's a natural left-hander, but he shoots right-handed. And he misses both free throws. 74-59, 1:16 to go in the ball game. Driving to the hole, that is Cortez. And a foul called against the challengers. I believe that's going to go against Cade Goldade.
I think it's going to go on Richardson, and that's his third, I believe. You're gonna smoke him if you got him, I guess.
Yeah, going to get his money's worth. Cortez misses the first free throw attempt. It remains a 15-point ball game. One more coming his way. It's up and it's in the bucket. It's good. 74-60. Westlake out of backcourt, 1:08 to go. Dillon works it over for Golday. Golday kicks it back out for Sample.
Sample to Caden.
Cade gonna shoot. Shot just a little bit short. Gets his own rebound. Keeps fighting for it. And there's Richardson with it. His shot off target. And coming out of the scrum with the ball is Beeman. Beeman quickly up the floor. Tries to aim for Cortez, but it ends up being tipped away. 40 seconds left in the ball game. Golday gonna shoot. His shot short. Beeman there for the rebound. Quickly up the floor, Frankowiak. Now to
Orman.
Makes it 74-62. Brody Sample to Westlake. Westlake gonna penetrate. Now for Golday. A little 10-footer. Oh, in and out. Green there to Beeman. Beeman's going to shoot the long-range jumper, and that will end the ball game. The Cascade Christian Challengers open up league play with a win against the Brookings Harbor Bruins. Your final score, the Cascade Christian Challengers 74, the Brookings Harbor Bruins 62. We'll go ahead and take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll bring you our post-game wrap-up, including the final stats on the night, right here on TableRockSports.net.
Game day or a family get-together. Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
Fuel your daily adventure at my Circle K. Whether it's some Monday motivation to kickstart your day, adding some crunch to your lunch, or fueling up for a road trip, your journey begins with my Circle K, powered by GP Energy.
See it on national TV all the time. They tell us that funerals can average between 7,000 and 10,000.
The Start Something New sales event is going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We're stocked up on a great selection of new vehicles from Chrysler, Jeep, Dodge, and of course, Ram trucks. Choose from our great selection of new Jeep Grand Cherokee L4x4s. Test drive a new Ram 1500 and see why Ram is Motor-Trend's back-to-back-to-back 3P Truck of the Year. And remember, we've added the convenience of test drives from your home and an online process to purchase and deliver your new vehicle. Get a Start Something New deal on every new vehicle in stock, only at the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Challenger Pavilion, the Challengers come away victors on their first night of league play. Table Rock Sports is excited to welcome Conger Morris Funeral Directors in Medford and Central Point as new sponsors of our live high school athletic teams. Visit congermorris.com to learn more about their services. Our sponsors allow us to cover your favorite teams. Welcome Conger Morris Funeral Directors. So here at the Pavilion, the Challengers asserted themselves early, broke out big to open the ball game with 28 points in the first quarter. And a lot of that coming off the strength of Austin Maurer, who really got it going early. But at the ball, to give the Bruins credit, they hung tough into the ball game and would close it down to 10 points, 12 points. But just as it seemed like the Challengers had that storm come, they would weather it and then extend the lead back out. But another good effort by Cascade, at least in terms of, Austin Maurer is going to get a lot of points, but it's also good to see other players like Cody Reese, Cannon Anderson contributing in the scoring department. Then you've got other guys that do great things defensively and in terms of doing all the little stuff. With the win, the Challengers raised their record to 9-3 on the year as they get ready to take on Westside Christian in a big game on Monday up in Harrisburg. Meanwhile, the Bruins will go to 7-5 on the year, and again, to be fair, keep in mind that they had a couple games last week against Del Norte and Gold Beach that got scrubbed from their schedule, so this is the first action they've seen since beating Phoenix back on December 30th. Mark is working on the final stats for the night. I'm sure he'll have quite a story to tell, and again, the next broadcast for us will be when the Challengers play host to South Umpqua coming up on January 26th. But nonetheless, their games at least on the schedule for next week in terms of the Monday game in Harrisburg and then a game on the road on Friday for Cascade. We'll go ahead and take just a quick 1-minute break, and then when we return, Mark will have the stats for us here on TableRockSports.net.
At 3 o'clock, Carter's campaign for class president will go live. His platform?
Thirsty for change?
Juice boxes for all. At 4, Liz will bid online and win.
Yes! Yes!
Which is why at 2, I'm down the street preparing for the storm. So no matter what, the show will go on.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with crispy, crunchy chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
We're wrapping things up for tonight's broadcast for the Challengers. Defeat the Bruins 74-60, and here along with Wyatt Rainey and Jim McCoy, this is Mark McLemore here now with the final stats for the night.
I tell you, the Challengers, we talked about that first quarter, 10 for 13. In the first half, 54%, shooting 15 for 28. Definitely cooled off in the second half. They end the game 24 for 56. That's still 43%. Not too bad for the Challengers, but certainly not as hot as they were when they started the game. Brookings with a nice shooting percentage at the end of it all, too. They shoot 26 for 62. That's 42%. So both teams shooting pretty well tonight, and that's why you see the score, 74-62. A lot of points scored in this one, and several of those coming from the free throw line. Let's look at Brookings first. Free throw wise, they were 8 for 15 from the free throw line. That's 53%. The Challengers 20 for 29. That's 69%. So really, you look at this game and 26 field goals for Brookings to only 24 for the Challengers. The Challengers making up that difference at the free throw line, where they made 20 points at the free throw line tonight to just 8 for the Bruins. Shooting turnover-wise for both teams, the Challengers actually led the turnover battle. They had 13 turnovers to just 9 for Brookings. So Brookings did a good job, especially in the second half. I only had them for 2 turnovers in the second half of that ball game.
Wow.
Very good team, really. I look at Brookings, and I think they're going to win a lot of games in this conference this year. And it was good for the Challengers to get a chance to play them here at home first before having to go over there and play them at Brookings, because you get an idea of what you're going to see over there. And it was a good, other than that first quarter, if you just look at the rest of the game, pretty evenly played game throughout the rest of the game. So a good test for the Challengers tonight, and they do a good job of doing what they had to do, especially from the get-go, to get the lead and to take the momentum early and carry that throughout the game. Scoring for Brookings, Jake Beeman had 10, Frankowiak with 18, Wyatt Harms had 2, Cortez had 1, Orman had 5, Josh Cerna with 5, and leading the way for Brookings Harbor, Brad Russell had 21 points tonight. So three guys in double figures for the Brookings Harbor Bruins, and they did a nice job of shooting the basketball and running their offense and getting good looks tonight. The Challengers don't often give up 62 points.
No, they don't.
And so a really nice job by Brookings Harbor of moving the ball and scoring points in this ball game. For The challengers, Cody Reese had 14, Peyton Maurer with 3. Kenan Anderson had 9 off the bench, Tristan Wallace with 4, Mason Hoffman had 3, and Daniel Nearing had 2. Briley Richardson in the fourth quarter made 3 free throws to get his first varsity points, but leading the way for Cascade Christian tonight with 38 points, Austin Maurer. So a heck of a night for Austin, getting close to that challenger record. I have a feeling it's going down at some point this season.
Yeah.
And Austin with 38 tonight to lead the way for the challenger. So 38 of the 74 points tonight for Austin Maurer, and pretty efficient job tonight as well for him. As he shoots just around 50% from the field and makes all but 1 of his free throws. So a really nice job by him tonight all the way around. The Challengers defense, I think there's going to be things to work on come this next week defensively, as I mentioned, giving up those 62 points. So, but the Challengers get the win, start off the league in the right way, and get ready for a very difficult, very tough opponent at a neutral site up at Harrisburg on Monday.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be quite a matchup, and we'll be watching carefully. And for those of you who are fans of Cascade Christian Challenger Sports, don't forget the website, challengerathletics.com. That's where you can visit and keep up to date on all the latest scores, stories, photos, and everything going on there. And also updates. Unfortunately, the girls were supposed to play today but didn't get their game in. In case you missed it earlier, the Challenger JV boys, 55-38 winners against Brookings Harbor in that game. Well, that's going to wrap up tonight's broadcast here. Thanks to our executive producer, Joe Brett, for Table Rock Sports, and thanks to all of our sponsors, including those who support Challenger Athletics. For Mark McLemore and Wyatt Rainey, I'm Jim McCoy. Thanks for joining us. Good night, everybody.